Welcome to the SubHub Podcast. I'm Dani Moreno.
And I'm EmKay Sullivan. And today we are super excited. We got Tove Alexandersson on the podcast after her massive world champs short trail race that Dani and I still don't even know how to put into words.
Historic, mind-boggling,
Yes.
mind-numbing, just all the adjectives to
Trail
our
race of the decade?
my brain noodle is out of my brain and back in my brain. It's weird. But yeah, Tove is an absolute superstar. She is a Swedish orienteering icon, also a trail running icon, obviously. Um, but yeah, her capturing that win at the World Champs just affirms her as one of the most versatile athletes in endurance sport of all time. I think she should start being included in those Time 100 top athletes lists
Yeah.
because going through her list of achievements is insane.
Yep. She's known for extraordinary range, but she has won world championship gold medals in six different sports. Foot orienteering, ski orienteering, sky running, ski mountaineering, sky snow running. But she is the most decorated or tied for the most decorated athlete in orienteering with 23 world championship titles.
And she's the most successful female orienteer in history, holding an unmatched streak of 11 consecutive 11, y'all. So longer than, yeah, for gold medals from 2018 to 2022. In this podcast, we chat about her background, a little bit about orienteering for folks that don't know about it, her race at World Champs, including the preparation and execution, etc. And most exciting, well, it's all very exciting, what she's planning for 2026, because I know you also want to know if she's going to do trail races, and she answers that question in this podcast.
Yes, but before we get into this podcast with Tove, we just want to give a quick shout out to Never Second. We know it's like kind of the end of the trail season here. Not many people are racing unless you're like getting ready for some Western States types qualifier. But if you do still have a couple of races on your schedule and you're doing some big training, go check out Never Second. If you haven't already, you haven't been listening to this podcast. But my personal favorite for racing and training, but mostly for racing, is the C30 drink mix. Typically, I will put 2.5 to 3 scoops into a flask so that I can have between like 70 and 90 grams an hour. I like to have the forest berry most of the time, but I'm also kind of big into the citrus. But Never Second also has a new unflavored option. If you don't really like having like it's still got this sweetness factor, but it doesn't have like a specific flavor per se. So you've got lots of options there.
Lots and lots of options. And if you haven't already, go check out their post from September 7th. You can still enter by commenting on the post an idea for a flavor gel because the winner is being announced on November 1st. So you still have quite a bit
Like
of
a whole
time,
month
a
almost.
whole month to try and get your year's supply of Never Second. So use our code, but also be sure to enter that sweepstakes contest, etc. Again, the post is on September 7th. So if you want to use our code SUBHUB25, SUBHUB25 for 25% off all of your orders at never2.com.
Absolutely. And just one more quick shout out before we get to this episode. We've said it a couple times already, but we're going to say it again. We made the cutest little sticker packs and stickers with Wild Strides Paper Company, which is led by Grayson Murphy, along with other trail crushers like Courtney Coppinger, Rachel Tomajic, and Jane Moss is on that squad as well, I believe. But go check out those stickers. They're super cute. We got like live, laugh, run in the mountains. We've got stay calm and sub ultra,
Grip it and
QOA.
rip it, single track
Yeah,
shredder.
lots
Just a
of cute
bunch.
little phrases.
So many cute phrases, and I am fully committed. I put the less than 26.2 sticker on my car, which
I
I'm
should
a
do
li
that.
I'm a lifer. I'm a lifer. Even though I love the 50K and I'm dabbling in that trigger, I am a lifer sub ultra baddie. So
Absolutely. We're always going back.
always going back. So if you guys want to purchase these stickers, do not forget to use our code SUBHUB15 for 15% off all of your orders. And these are great gifts with the holidays coming up, great gifts for kids who are doing cross country because cross country is technically a sub ultra. Just go ahead and get your stickers. And that website is wildstrides with an S paper.com.
And one last thing, I keep saying that, but we want to make a formal apology to
Oh,
our
yes.
friend Noah Williams because, I'm going to blame it on pregnancy. Danny's going to blame it on injury. Our brains are just kind of scrambled. But we said that Tove Alexandersson, who, by the way, finished 17th overall at the World Championships, beat our entire men's US team, and that was a
Is
lie.
that was a lie.
That was a lie. Noah Williams absolutely crushed it. Finished first for the men at the Short Trail World Championships. He was 14th overall.
Top
Absolute awesome
15
day.
in the
And
world.
not
Sorry.
surprising because he is like a ski, mountain athlete. That's the kind of athlete that we needed for this course. Noah did it. He got it done.
Badass ski athlete, badass triathlete. We are sorry, Noah. We are shouting it from the rooftops.
So, yeah, Noah Williams, 14th place. But today's episode is most importantly about Tove Alexandersson, who is 17th overall and world champion by 35 minutes, if we didn't already mention it like 14 times in the last episode.
Yes, so we hope you guys enjoy. Here's the episode with Tove. Hi, Tova. Welcome to the Sub Hub podcast.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
First off, where are you right now post World Championships?
I'm in Bormio for the moment for a training camp for ski mountaineering. So we are up at the glacier in Stelvio and training skiing.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're really excited to chat about that. Before we dive into where you are currently a little bit more and the World Championships, we're going to kind of dive more into your background because we are guessing a lot of our viewers and listeners actually hadn't heard of you before until the World Trail Running Championships. So, first and foremost, we did a little bit of digging and we noticed you are a multi-world championship in the sport of orienteering. And so we were wondering how you got your start in orienteering and if you could describe what that is to people.
Yeah, orienteering is quite big in Sweden and in the area I am from. And my family, they have done orienteering when they was, yeah, my parents have done orienteering when they was young as well. So we were out to orienteering competitions, the whole family since I could, yeah, all my life since I was 1 year old, I have been out to orienteering competitions. So I, that's the sport, my first sport, and the one I have had most focus on during the years. But I also like to try other sports and challenge myself in many different kind of things.
And I know there's like a couple different types of orienteering because there's ski orienteering and then like almost more like a trail running version of it. Is there one that you prefer to focus on?
Yeah, like the foot orienteering when you're running is like the main thing of orienteering and like the biggest part of it. And then we have like ski orienteering. I have done a lot of ski orienteering as well. And we also have a mountain bike orienteering. So yeah, it's you can do it also like on skis or on the bike, but I prefer running.
That's awesome. Yeah, just watching some videos and clips of it, kind of what we can put together is that you have a map and you're trying to orienteer or navigate to get to different spots that you don't know until you get the map. So I was wondering if you could explain that a little bit more and then how long the typical race is in like distance and duration, or does it depend?
Yeah, we have some different kind of distance. We have a long distance that is about 90 minutes and a middle distance that is about 35 minutes. And we also have relays when you're running in team and that, the relay can be from like 30 minutes to 1.5 hours as well, the different legs in the relay. And we also have sprint orienteering and when you run in the city. The other distance is in the forest, but we also have some shorter disciplines when we are running in the city. So that's about 10 to 15 minutes. And it's, as you said, you're not allowed to be in the area before where you will run the race, and you get the map with the course in, yeah, when you start, so you can't see it before, you can't prepare so much, so it's just to, yeah, adapt when you get the map and see how it looks like out in the terrain.
And so I'm curious because obviously you're doing a lot of running for this sport, and I'm guessing it eventually led you to trail running, which we'll kind of get into. But what does the training look like for orienteering? Like, are you going on big long runs like you would to train for world championships, or are you doing mostly like interval training since a lot of it is like sprint to this, spot, stop, sprint to this spot, stop?
Actually, when you like running orienteering course, you don't stop. You are running the whole time because you can read the map at the same time as you are running. So you have like you don't stop so often. You just running. And I think like the training in orienteering is the same base like in many, yeah, other sports like running or biking or cross country skiing. There's a lot of hours that you should just train, and then you do some more specific into the races. So it's a lot of training without the map, just like physical training, running or biking or skiing, and to build a good base. So I think I'm doing a lot of different kind of sports, but I think it's quite the same kind of training, and I think it's good to have like do some skiing in the winter and then some running to really build up a good base for all the sports.
Yeah, you saying that you don't stop running, I also saw some clips of you doing that, and I was like, I definitely would have fallen on my face. Like, you're navigating pretty technical rock looking at a map, and it looks like a lot of fun. Last question before we transition to, orienteering to trail running is, you said you couldn't study the area before the actual start. Is there any way to prepare though? Because my mind is like, could you look at like a Google Maps if you know you're going to go to, I don't know, Milan, Italy, and kind of pick out some landmarks and stuff before the race? Or do you not do anything like that?
Yeah, you can do some kind of preparations like that, and sometimes it's also old maps of the area, so you can look at the old maps and try to think what it will looks like. So you can, yeah, prepare in that kind of way, but you are not allowed to be in the forest. But you can also, you always have trainings in the area, so you are training on other orienteering maps, not exactly the same where you will run the competition, but in areas that looks a bit the same, so you can prepare as good as you can.
Let's go.
So you're the most decorated or possibly tied for most decorated female orienteer in history. You have 23 world titles. So what continues to excite you about orienteering? Because obviously you dabble in a lot of other sports as well, but you're still focused on orienteering a lot of the time.
Yeah, so orienteering has always been my main sport and my biggest focus.
And you're still stoked on it.
Yeah, like I think that's the most fun with orienteering. It's always new challenges. You're never on the same course again. It's always a new course and a new area. So it's always something new. So I think that's because of that I like it so much, and that I just want to continue with it because I know that it will be something new all the time. And many orienteerings they are like continue with orienteering whole day life, so it's really fun when you're at the orienteering competition. It's everything from like kids 5 years old to persons that are over 90 years old. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, I wish we had that in America too. I think a lot of people would enjoy that sport as well. That's so cool. Okay, so now kind of shifting to trail running. What inspired you to jump into trail running? And when was your first trail race? Because my first recollection of you is maybe like Ring of Steel pre-COVID, but I'm curious if you had jumped into trail races before then or if that was kind of like your first exposure.
Yeah, I ran my first like longer trail race was Limone Sky Race. It was the year before I was running in Scotland. So that was yeah my first one, and I have always liked to run in the mountains, and I have always liked to like be out for long training sessions and like that. And yeah, I just wanted to try something new, and I ran this race in Limone, and it was really tough because I wasn't really prepared for such a long race with so much up and down. So I was quite destroyed after a race, but I also was thinking that it was fun and I wanted to do it one more time and prepare a bit better. So when I was running in Scotland, it went yeah, I was a bit more prepared, and I wasn't so destroyed after a race. But then yeah, orienteering has always been my main focus. So I have been running like one trail race each year, maybe sometimes two trail races, but not more than that. But yeah, I really like it, and this year was the first time I really like prepared for a trail race. I had my orienteering season as well, but I ended it a little bit earlier than usually, so I could do a really good preparation for the World Championships.
That transitions really well to the next question, which is
Yeah.
we because like you said, we don't see you at many trail races throughout the year because your focus is orienteering. So like how do you typically structure your season between all of the sports, orienteering, skimo, and trail running, and how did that change this year?
Yeah, usually like from the beginning, I was doing cross country skiing and orienteering, and then I changed to ski orienteering, like yeah, orienteering but with cross country skis. And then I started with the skimo for 5 years ago. So I don't do ski orienteering anymore. So I have focus on skimo during the winter, and then orienteering during the summer. So like my training during summertime is focused on orienteering, but I really love to run in the mountains. So when I have like vacation or free time, I used to go to the mountains and just be out the whole days and running. Uh, and sometimes I like yeah run a trail race in the end of the season if I have time. So I have always been thinking that I like one year want to do some more trail running and have more focus on that, because so that's have always been in my mind that I want to try to yeah switch some focus to that. But otherwise I have like competitions the whole year round with the orienteering and skimo and sometimes trail races.
With so is the limitation with orienteering with orienteering, are you running for the Swedish national team or do you have your own set of sponsors?
Yeah, I'm running for the Swedish national team, but also we have when I'm running in Sweden, I'm running for my orienteering club. So, like all the orienteering clubs in Sweden are quite strong, and we have many races where you represent your club. So that's also yeah really fun to run for the orienteering club.
Gotcha. So they're the ones like setting the schedule and then you base your entire year off of the schedule that they create.
Yeah, so like the orienteering season starts in April and ends in October. So it's a quite long season, and it's a lot of races all the time. So because of that, it's hard to do so many trail races as well, because we have yeah many races in the orienteering.
Yeah.
So then you said you ended your orienteering season earlier this year because of World Championships. So when was your last orienteer race, and when did you kind of switch over to focusing on short trail championships?
My last orienteering was in end of July. So I started like the focus on the trail running world championship in the beginning of August. So I had like yeah 1.5 month to prepare for the race.
It's awesome. And With it being the World Championships, because from what I could see, and correct me if I'm wrong, prior to the race that you did in Spain to prepare for this year's World Trail Championships, your last trail races were the last Trail Championships. Is that true? Or did you do other
Yeah,
races in between?
yeah, I did a smaller one also in Italy, but like if you just count the bigger ones, it was the one in Innsbruck when I was running the world championship there.
And so I'm curious if, like, in trail running, are you only interested in the World Trail Championships, or would you ever consider like jumping into, say, like an OCC or more Golden Trail World Series races, in the fall and stuff like that?
No, I'm thinking about to run some of the bigger trail races next year. So that I choose the World Championships was that it was good in time for the orienteering, and also that I like to be in a team and not just go alone to races. So it was nice to do it together with the Swedish national team.
I mean, it worked out. You guys ended up with gold, so like I would also love to
Yeah.
I yeah, I absolutely loved the like world championship team aspect when I was in Innsbruck, and it was cool to like watch you guys out there as well. I'm curious, do you, in terms of like coaching, because you have your ski orienteering club, does your ski orienteering coach also help you with trail running, or is that something you kind of do on your own time, just like, like you said, just enjoying time out in the mountains?
Yeah, I have no coach, so I'm like you do all the training by myself.
All
That is
right. Well,
so
that is just,
fascinating.
yeah.
Yeah. That is so fascinating. So there's no coach for the orienteering club. You guys just like meet together and create your own training?
Yeah, so we have some like trainings together and like that, but and some orienteers has coaches as well, but I am my own coach. I'm really interested in training, and so I like to do my own training program. So, and also when I'm doing so many different kind of sports, I think it's easier to just decide by myself what to train.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. Having had other multi-sport athletes on this podcast, that's always tough to try and manage, it seems like, if you're doing both ski mo and or cross-country skiing and trail running, it's like, do you have three coaches? Do you have the same coach? Do you self-coach for one and not for the other? So finding what works for you is super cool. Wow, that's super fascinating with the club. So, do you guys like create a sports training camp for your guys' self, like prior to the beginning of the season? Do you meet every day? Like, do you live next to each other? Are you best friends? Like, this is so fascinating to me.
Yeah, like in the orienteering club, it's like based in Borlänge, when I am from. So almost everyone is living in the surroundings. So I have like a common training every Tuesday where the whole club is. So everything from youngster like 10 years old to the older one like around the 70 years old, and then we eat together in the evening, so it's like a really good culture there. And then we are going together on the orienteering competitions on the weekends and traveling together. So yeah, it's a really nice community with the orienteering club.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a wonderful community to be a part of. The like evening meals after training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need that for like some trail running clubs.
Yeah. Well, it's so nice that you guys are like located near each other, because I feel like that's something that's really hard with trail running. Because yeah, I'd love to be like, all right, MK, see you next Tuesday,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for training and dinner. So that's super, super
Yeah.
cool.
Actually, I do have a question about that because you did kind of like train in based on Strava, it looked like you went up to Norway for a bit to train with like Ida and Joanna and who else? Does Sylvia live up there now? No, Sylvia's in
Yeah,
Chamonix.
there is an
She was there
Emily,
as
and
well.
yeah, it's they have a really good trail running community there with a lot of people. So it was really nice to come there and visit them and do some trainings together there.
Yeah, but you just did that for like a couple of weeks leading into World Championships. You don't do that frequently.
And no, so I went there because I wanted to go there and visit them in many years, but I haven't. So I was thinking now it's the time to go there.
That's awesome. And by the way, for our audience, we are referring to the great Ida Nilsson and Joanna Arstrom. Is that her
Yes,
last name?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. What we know a lot of people are itching to hear about, and that is your champs performance. And I don't know if you know this, but this is being considered the greatest trail performance of all time. I don't know how much on you are on social media, based on the fact that you are such a small percentage behind the men's winner. So, first and foremost, we'll start with the basics. What inspired you to run the world champs? It sounds like maybe it's the team aspect, but curious if there's anything else alongside.
Yeah, it's the team aspect. That's why I really like to like be a part of the team and like train together to a common goal, and yeah, travel together and yeah, do do it together with others. And I have like always dreamed about to be best in the world, to run up and down from mountains. I think because I have always loved to be in the mountains and to run in the mountains and to run as fast as possible in the mountains. But orienteering has always been my main focus, so I haven't really put the right effort to it before. So this time I really wanted to spend as much time in the mountains as possible and see how good I could be to run up and down for mountains if I did it for a longer time than I had done before. And it was I really enjoyed it. So I was just traveling around and I was running up to new summits and new mountains every day. So yeah, it was I really enjoyed it.
That's cool. Yeah, it's super, I don't even know if the words, it's interesting that you're saying like that is where you can kind of like test yourself like on a world stage, and coming from, orienteering being your main sport, because I feel like in trail running, for folks that are just coming into the sport, it could be a little confusing. And you're well versed in the trail world, but it's like there's the UTMB World Championship, there's the Golden Trail World Championship, and then there's the World Trail Championship, World Trail Mountain Running Championship. And so yeah, I'm just curious why you selected that one out of all of the World Championship titles you could pursue.
Yeah, it was because I thought it was like the one that was good in time for me because I ended the orienteering season in end of July, so I couldn't have any races before that, and the like races like Sierra Sinal, for example, had been really cool to run, but I was thinking like 2 weeks was a little bit too less to do a really good preparation for it, and also like UCC had been cool to run, but you need to qualify for that, and yeah, I didn't have time to do it. So I thought that like the World Championship was the biggest race that was possible for me to run with good preparations this year. So we will see next year if I what kind of race I will choose next year.
When Danny and I got together to record our like world championship recap, one of the first things we said was it would be awesome to see Tove at Sears and all. So I'm glad you're mentioning it, you're thinking about it because we'd love to see
Yeah.
you out there. But I'm curious because, like you said, the last like big trail race you ran was 2 years ago in Innsbruck, where you were second at the classic up down world championships. So what made you decide to make the switch to short trail for this year?
Which isn't that short, but yeah.
Yeah, short
Yeah,
trail. Yeah, it's 27
now
miles still.
I really like the more a little bit longer races that it's more adventure. You really get out in the mountains. The up and down race is not so much like out in the mountains. So my I should have run the World Trail Championship also in Thailand the year before, but then I got the injury. And the reason I ran this up and down race in Innsbruck was because it was in the middle of the orienteering season, and my focus was on orienteering. So I didn't do any special preparations for it. So I was thinking it was a bit too tough to run such a long race without any specific preparation. And also for the orienteering season, I didn't want to risk any injuries to run such a long race just in the middle of the orienteering season without any preparation. So then it felt better to run this one. And also the reason I ran it was because I was living in Imst at that time. So it was like just only 50 minutes from where I was living. So I didn't need to travel anywhere. So yeah.
Um, I couldn't help but chuckle because you said to not risk injury. We can't avoid the elephant in the room, which was that you bashed your head before World Championships on the same course. So kind of take us through that because at World Championships you still had the bandage on your head. I hope it's healed now. But your choice to run the whole course before World Championships, I would say like a lot of trail runners would not do that, like typically, and you're laughing. And then dealing with that injury because it looked pretty rough. Like there was a lot of blood, folks, in the photos.
Yeah, running race was actually really spontaneous because we were there for a training camp with some girls of the team. So the plan was just to train in the area and train on the course. And when we were out running on the course, after some days, we recognized that it was some flags on the course, and I was thinking that it must be a trail race here, like. So I was like, yeah, googling and saw that they have a trail race here this weekend, and one of the distance is like exactly the same course as we will run on the World Championship. And I was thinking, should I run it or is it just stupid to do it? But I, because I have never run such a long race before, so I was thinking it could be good to test it before the World Championship, so I can like do all kind of mistakes you can do on that race, so I know what to not do on the World Championship. So I decided like 3 days before the race that I should run it, and I think it was good because it didn't it went okay, but not. I did some mistakes during the race. So yeah, but I think it was a good experience to have before the wheel one.
I think it was a great idea because you obviously won the world championships. Frederick Tranchant, who is a French athlete, they, have whole training camps usually like around these courses. And it seemed like the athletes who got out there and saw the course, like the Spanish team, um, obviously had great days because it did seem like a course that you almost needed to know like the intricacies of. And so I'm curious, like, what, after seeing the course the first time, what did you feel were going to be your strengths going into the World Championships on the course?
Yeah, it's hard to know, but I really like the course. I think that was maybe the biggest thing for me, that I was going into the World Championship and I really wanted to run the course. I was thinking this is a really fun course. It's a great course. I'm really looking forward to it. But I was not so focused on the others because for me, like just run the course was a big enough challenge for itself. So I didn't want to focus on what the others will do or not.
No, I think that's super smart and just focusing on yourself. So we were able to kind of like see tidbits from athletes, social media, and then also the live stream. What do you think, in your opinion, was the hardest part of the course?
Yeah, I would definitely say like the downhills. They were really technical, and it was different kind of downhills. Two of them was with a lot of stones and quite technical, and one was just really steep down from a skiing slope. And the last downhill was not so steep, but it was just really long because it was these turns all the time. So it felt like it lasted forever. So but I think the whole course had many challenges, and I think, as you said before, it was really good to have been there before and run the course, because I think it was that kind of course that you needed to you really needed to be prepared for what was waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw or I heard on the live stream Martin said there was like 160 switchbacks or something in the final downhill. It,
Yeah.
and that's like the worst time to be running switchbacks too, because you're so tired like 4.5 hours into this race. Um, did you, because you had run the whole course before, and it was a little bit different because you did have to like get stitched up, so you sat for like 20 minutes, but did you realize how much faster you were running that day than, when you had run it a month before? Or were you just purely feeling it out?
Yeah, I knew that I probably would be able to run it faster than I had done before, because when I was running that race, I had training really hard. Yeah, until yes, I had one rest day before the race. Otherwise, I had really hard training before, and now I was really well rested. So, yeah, the time I had was maybe around that. I had was thinking that would be possible to run the course.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. And so going into the actual race day itself, you're focused on yourself. You have your own experience from a couple weeks before. What was your plan versus what actually happened? Was the plan no plan? Like, did you have a goal? Because just looking briefly at your results, you've only lost two races, maybe. One was the Classic, and then another was the Azores and Golden Trail. And I'm pretty sure you got injured there, so you had to stop. So it seems like the goal every time is to win, but I would love to just hear you put it in your own words.
Yeah, I think when I'm standing at the start line, I want to win the race. But so yeah, I wanted to not start too fast. So my plan was to not to have a gap on the first hill, but it was so I think I had maybe done it differently if we had just started a woman, but it was like so many people everywhere, and it was hard to know where the other girls was. So yeah, I was like, okay, I should just run my own race and have a pace that I know is not too fast. So I would say it felt really controlled. Uh, Actually, the whole race, but like the first two uphills, I really felt that I this if I just running in this pace, I think I will be able to do the whole course without being too tired. So yeah, I was mostly focusing on myself, but it was also fun to catch the men all the time. So have them looking, forward to catch some more men. So I was more like focusing on the ones in front of me and not focusing so much on the ones in back of me.
Yeah, I'm looking at your split from that first climb right now, and it looks like you already had a 5 minute gap on the second place woman, and you were already in like the top 20 for the men at the top of that very first climb. But I totally get what you're saying. When you're in that, like, especially because it was single track, I imagine you were just like trying to get ahead of, as many men without getting stuck before the top because those descents are gnarly and you don't want to be like navigating both the rocks and the men.
Yeah, exactly. So actually, like the first uphill and the first downhill was a little bit frustrating because they was in the way for me all the time. I really wanted to run a bit faster, but it was always like people in the way. But in one way, it was maybe good because that did so I didn't start too fast. So yeah, I think I had a really good race, and I don't think I could have running it so much faster or better. So yeah.
Yeah, just a PSA to any human out there. If you are in Tove's way on the downhill, get out of the way. The woman is trying to run her downhill. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like looking back, oh, I actually, before we get into like overall, were you eating and drinking? Because if in orienteering, it seems like you're running much shorter races. I'm just curious, like for this one, that's obviously much longer. Like what fuel and hydration are you taking with you?
Yeah, so in orienteering, the races are much shorter, so I'm not used to eat and drink so much during a race. So that was also one thing I was really training on all my trainings before the race to, yeah, train on eat and drink a lot during, yeah, the training, so I get used to it. So my goal was to have like uh, 60 to 80 grams of carbs each hour, and I actually think I had 85. So that was without any stomach issues or anything. So that was really good for me. So I had gels and sport drink from Morton. So that was, yeah, what I had during the race, and I had a plan to when I should take it. And I was thinking that I, yeah, start to have like 80 grams in the beginning and see if I could keep it the whole race, and it works well. So I had new dips, and so I'm super happy that I managed, yeah, to get enough with energy, because I think that was maybe one of the biggest challenges because I'm not used to it.
Yeah, I can imagine that like going from not really using it at all to trying to use it for these two races had to be difficult. But I didn't even listen to Danny and I's recap, but like we were so I don't know, just still mind blown by your performance that I think listening to us talk about it is probably pretty goofy. But like huge congratulations on your win. It was such a cool day to watch. I mean, you finished 17th in the men's field and you finished,
Overall, yeah.
yeah, 35 minutes ahead of second place woman. So just like absolutely incredible day. It was just I
Historic.
still don't even know what to say about it because I'm
Yeah,
just
I mean, it's just like resetting
yeah.
this, yeah, wow, I can't even, I'm like lost for words too. It's like resetting the standard or like what we can dream about, especially being in the women's field. And, because we're used to like certain gaps. And then, once you see it's possible, it's just like so freaking inspiring. So yeah, huge congrats. But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We just want to say huge congrats.
Yeah, we want to talk a little bit about we'll circle all the way back to the beginning about where you are right now. You said you're in Bormio, Italy for Skimo camp. And so I guess the big question is you're like a multiple time world champion across several different sports. Are you trying to go to the Olympic Games for Skimo with Team Sweden right now? And what does that camp look like?
Yeah, exactly. So we have a small team, Swedish skimo team, and we are training. So the Olympic is, yeah, the main goal for the season. So we will try to qualify with the team. So we are going to the US in December for the last qualification races. So yeah, that's what we are preparing for now, to be as good as possible there.
That's
So
Where
it's
awesome.
are the
fun
where are the
because,
US races?
yeah, it's a really short races. So now it's each leg there is about 8 9 minutes. So now I'm going from like 5 hours race to racing like 8 minutes instead. So it will be fun to see if I can manage that change.
Well, fortunately, you're a very good climber, so I think you're gonna be pretty good.
And where are those races at?
In Solitude, quite close to Salt Lake.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. When do you go there?
We will go in the middle of November, and the races are in beginning of December.
Okay, nice. And then how long will you stay here? Just until the races are done?
Yeah, so we will be there for about 3.5 weeks.
Nice. Dang, that's
is
super
is
exciting.
is Bormio at altitude? Because I'm wondering like what kind of altitude training you guys do to prepare for a race at Solitude.
Yeah, Bormio is not on so high altitude. It's like 1400, I think, but we are up training on the glacier that is about 3000
Okay,
meters. So we are going up there every day for training.
which is like 9,600 feet or something for our US listeners.
That's awesome. Well, you are a true Renaissance woman with world titles across the board. And so we were going to ask you like what is still on your bucket list as an athlete, but it seems maybe the one that's right in front of you trying to go to the Olympics. But is that truly like can you do that individually in your own hands, or is it that the whole team has to qualify first and then you will have that opportunity?
Yeah, it's like the team to qualify. So yeah, but as I said before, I really like to do things together and do it as a team.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree more. And so outside beyond when are the Olympics actually?
It's in February.
Oh shoot, that is up close. Dang, that's right
Yeah,
around the corner.
yeah,
Okay, so in theory, the Olympics are in February, then what does the rest of your 26 look like?
yeah. I hope to do some trail races. I will run some orienteering as well, but I think I will have my main focus next year on trail. So I haven't decided which trail races yet I will run, but for sure I want to run some of the bigger ones.
I feel like I got super giddy right now. That's really exciting.
Yeah, and because I'm trying to think, I'm trying to like wrap my head around your schedule. Sorry. So you probably wouldn't qualify for like a UTMB race this year because you'll be like focusing on skimo. Would you try to like qualify before the time? Because you now have until June to qualify for 2026. Would you try to qualify for like OCC if you had the time?
Yeah, I haven't actually had time to read how the rules are. For I just know that you need to qualify, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it and if it's possible to do it already for next year. But I guess like one year I really want to run some of the UTMB races, so I will have a look to see. Yeah, what I haven't decided at all what
Yeah.
I want to run next year. It's just that I want to run some trail races.
Well, you
Well, you
used to have to qualify before December, but now because your index is so high, you have until June to
Ah,
qualify
okay.
for
That was good
2026. So
news.
you
That was
got
good.
tons of time.
I was gonna say send your Subhub girls your schedule and we'll figure it out for you.
Yeah.
We'll provide you with some options.
Great. That sounds great.
We got lots of ideas.
We have so many ideas.
Oh
Uh,
man. Oh, you go, Danny.
oh, just kind of like closing it out, like obviously you are at such a high level already, but what like keeps you going? Like what at this point in your career, like how do you define success?
I think it's because the thing I like the most is just like training. I really like this life going on, yeah, training camps and do go to different places. And I really like to be in the mountains and just running and push my own limits and yeah, see how good I can be. So like the competitions and the races are just a little piece of it, and my biggest motivation is just to go out every day for training. I really like it, so even if I wasn't racing I should train a lot. So
Yeah, and what an awesome life to have. Danny and I are also both, well, I don't know why I said also. We're professional trail runners. You're professional everything. So but it's a very fortunate life that we get to live and just like train and focus on the things that we love, which is just to be outside in the mountains.
yeah, exactly. So I really appreciate it. So yeah, I think you understand, yeah, what I mean with that. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
definitely. Actually closing it out, because we do want to respect your time at training camp. This is more of like a logistical question I should have asked earlier, but can you, like, do you have a trail sponsor or how does that work since you're an orienteer, but also skimo? Like, will you always represent Sweden?
Mm, yeah, it's like a bit different compared with like the trail running world. So I don't have any like trail sponsors in that way, but I have like other kind of sponsors more, yeah, to my orienteering and things like that. But yeah, it doesn't work in exactly the same way as in like trail running when you more like a team and have are sponsored by the team. So I think it's a bit different. And as I'm quite new to all these things. So I'm So, but it definitely would be fun to have like more like a team also in trail running, and not just like in the World Championship where you have the Swedish team, but have like be a part of a trail running team as well.
Yeah, that would be super cool. I don't know how we do that though. That's like the hardest thing. I think in a place like Sweden or Norway where there's already like those close connections, but like for example, Ida is craft and Johanna is Arc'teryx, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, yeah, I think it's like you could be in a place where you can all train together, but right now everyone's sponsors are different. But to your point, I totally agree. Like that would be the dream to like have everyone
Yeah.
have the same sponsor and like training together. And you don't necessarily have to have the same coach, but like in the instance of your orienteering team, like, all right, we're meeting every Tuesday for a hill workout, or every Friday. Yeah, maybe you can help us fix that or change that.
I like it. Yeah.
Whoever, if you end up getting a sponsor, you're like, I will only do this if all of my friends fly out here every Wednesday.
Yeah, my husband and I have been talking about this a lot recently because we're coached by the same person as like a handful of our friends, and now, like Grayson Murphy, Jane Moss, like a bunch of other big names in the country. And I'm like, man, it'd be so cool if like Rick was sponsored, and then like we were all sponsored by the same thing, and we all lived in the same place. Because yeah, I
Yeah.
love the team aspect. It's so fun to like be on a little cross country team again.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it is in the roads. Like
Yeah.
they'll give money to, from what I understand, like to a coach, and then the coach divides it up, and that's all one sponsor and stuff. But anyways, we could solve this another time, Tove, when you're not at training camp. Do you have any closing thank yous or shout outs you want to make, just in general?
Yeah, I would. A big thank you to everyone that had support me and have like all nice word I've got after the World Championship. I really feel so welcome in the trail running community, and it's a great atmosphere there. So it really makes me want to run more trail races. So a big thanks for that.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. I think that our listeners will be very excited to learn more about you and to see like what 2026 looks like for Tova when she focuses on trail running a little bit. Because yeah, I know Danny and I are stoked, and I think a lot of other people will be too.
Thank you.
All
Awesome.
right.
This has been the Sub Pub Pod.